Red salute to all comrades here. I am also very comfortable with my mother tongue Tamil only, but I am here to speak in English. I try to convey my views to you. I am Amrita from New Democratic Labour Front, NDLF State Coordination Committee, Tamil Nadu. I am here to represent our labour union views on the labour fascist policies. In the past, we have travelled with IFTU for more than a decade and convened a convention against the contract system in the month of January 2018 in Chennai, followed with a public meeting. Earlier, we conducted the International Conference of Mining Workers in Warangal, Telangana. Recently, we have faced the COVID lockdown period. During the lockdown period, we, NDLF, worked along with the IFTU, IFTU, some other fractional organizations, intervened the case in the Supreme Court of India, filed by the corporate houses against the union government's direction to pay wage to the workmen in full during that period. We recalling all these instances not to identify ourselves, but the possibility of the joint actions of like-minded organizations like we all. We a trade union which is having region-wise registered bodies under Trade Union Act in 1926 had fought with corporate houses of various sectors including the automobile and the IT industry. Even though the sectors and the products are different from each other, the plight of the product force is identical. We are all facing the identical problems. We are discussing the anti-labor fascist policies of the central government, which is the ruling class puppet. The combo of saffron and the corporate has unleashed the fascist atrocities against the entire working class. This is our position in India. We, the working class, have attained, as advocates said, 8 hours work, 8 hours sleep, and 8 hours recreation by our countless bloodshed sacrifices for the centuries. But they are trying to demolish our rights just by changing some letters and words in the papers. Their main objective is deprive the 8 hours work per day and to bring 12 hours or more than that per day, work per day. This is which they are covering with sweet-coated words of 4 days work and 3 days holiday in a week. 8 hours work a day is a scientific demand of our working class. The aim of the saffron corporate fascist groups in codifying these laws to exploit the working class for the profit of capitalists. We have to fight against them. Many provisions of the labour laws were framed during British rule itself. Many of them. We have got from numerous struggles and sacrifices. These labour laws had many regulations to the employers, which did not match the current recolonization period, as Comrade said. So they are altering these laws as regulation-less laws in the name of the codifying in 4 codes to benefit the corporate bourgeois. This is why they need these changes in labour laws. We have to ask, can we combat the corporate houses under various banners and flags? No, absolutely no. Can we retaliate the capital with the various divisions of labour? Can't. Absolutely we can't. It is possible to survive with a prosperity, our own industry and assigned job? Absolutely no. Can we survive as the corporate recognized trade unions? Not at all. Will the existing labour laws, already we have some labour laws, 42, as Comrade said, these laws they propose codes, ensure the secure life? No. The existing laws are remaining mortar only in the books now. It will be bygone memory after the implementation of the codes. We are not analyzing the system and the situation mechanically. We learn more and more various instances. In Bangalore, in Chennai, all over the India, we are facing more instances. We need a recognition of the corporate house to remain a recognized union to retain the bargaining capacity. But their bargaining capacity remains at the mercy of corporate houses. Only at the mercy of corporate houses. The right to bargain our due, share in the profit is no more exist. The right to form a union and organize as a group is no more our fundamental right. Now, struggles are depicted as anti-national. If we go into struggle in the street, they depicted us as the anti-national and disturbing the smooth sailing of capital, both foreign and national. Moreover, it is colored as Chinese instigated one. So, the spontaneous struggles are crushed with the brutal invention of state machinery all over India, even in Tamil Nadu also. Even it has gathered of several thousands of people, females. The struggles of government workers in Bengaluru and in Foxconn workers in Chennai, in Tamil Nadu. Female leadership is the most spectacular aspects of these struggles. Forming a trade union on their own choice is deprived from the working class. The attack on Maruti workers, we all know about the Maruti workers problem. And the subsequent incidents have awakened the corporate houses and they started to act suitably. Nowadays, several MNCs started to form either working committee or sponsor union. They never bother about the volume of workmen. Supporting these workers committee and sponsor unit is forcible acceptance of these tools. We saw some instances where sizable workers from union on their own. But the management simply recognized the sponsor union or its own product of workers committee. They are not recognized as. This is the real situation. For example, CITU formed a union in Hyundai one decade ago. The MLA of CPM party and the state secretary of CITU, Comrade Soundararajan, lead that union. But the management terminated more than 130 frontline leaders and recognized a sponsor union. At present, there are dozens of independent and party-based unions in Hyundai. The fact is, none are considered. The politically guided workman general union in Yamaha, as I said, Comrade Soundararajan was elected as a president, but the management has refused to recognize Comrade Soundararajan. Subsequently, it has instigated sizable number of workmen to expel the elected president. In addition, the management has recognized the rebel group. The legend Comrade Kuselan was elected as the president of Royal Field Workers Union with overall majority. In turn, the management has floated a sponsor union and recognized it. Now, the majority of workmen were forced to terms and conditions of agreement signed by the sponsored union. This is the real situation. In various MNCs, more particularly in automobile sector, the managements are throning the labor department to register sponsored unions. The change in the attitude to suppress the formation of trade unions is nothing but creating a system to the workmen to vent their anger and silence them. That's all. Not more than that. They want to silence us. They only recognize the sponsored unions. During the COVID period also, we have faced lot of problems. The COVID has created weapon in handling contact workers. The contradiction between the native workmen and the migrant workmen is the new weapon for capitalism. Capitalist now. Also for the state. The contradictual in all areas of the production is in rapid. The migrant workers are being engaged in larger level beside the least opportunity to the native workmen. Divide and suppress is a device to make the contractual employment successful. We all know the existing CLRA contract act, that is Contact Labor Regulation Abolition, as Comrade said in 1971. It is toothless since inception. Now the new codes will give sanctity to the contract labor system. Even the central and the state governments, PUCs, are engaging contract labor without any sanction. If so, can we accept or insist the state's machinery to implement CLRA or the provisions of new codes? Absolutely no. As this convention is an initiative to organize the like-minded unions and to chalk out programs for the nationwide propaganda and agitation, our organization NDLF, SCC, assure you to extend our fullest cooperation in all kinds of work plan and move forward. Unfortunately, as all comrades said, the working class is being divided into several factions based on religion, region, caste, language, industry, and division of labor. The task before us in Himalaya, but anything can be smashed with the abundant energy of our working class. So foremost precondition are unity and change in approach. On the other hand, to unite and lead the other oppressed working classes like students, women, and kuti bourgeois is a necessary, as getting together as united proletarians, which is the one and only way to defeat the saffron corporate fascism. Thank you for the opportunity. Long live revolution. Thank you.